Hi there. It's so great to be with you again. It has been a while. My name is Laura. Welcome back to Mama's Might. Today I am going to give you a 3-month update and review of the bioidentical vaginal HRT hormone replacement therapy cream that I have been using these past 3 months. If you have watched any of the videos that I have made recently, then you know that this has been a bumpy road. And I do want to give context of how I got here in case you haven't watched the videos and you're interested. However, if you have watched or if you're not interested in knowing what the backstory is or how I got here, then I will see you at this moment in the video where the review of the product that I'm using called OESTRA will begin, and then I'll just see you there. I recently turned 55, as a matter of fact, last month in March, and I'm so glad to be able to say that I am post-menopause. Up until last year, I really thought, the perimenopause, it's no walk in the park, but it's fine. It's manageable because I did feel that way. Then last August, my son was in the hospital in the ICU for an amount of time. And during that time of immense stress and worry, trauma, my perimenopausal symptoms immediately just ramped up. They went into overdrive. And I experienced 6 months of, it was torment and it was brutal, something I had never ever been through. And maybe you can relate to that as well. I truly think that stress and trauma amplifies what we're already going through. And so, yeah, I don't think that's a big surprise. What was a surprise to me is, since I had never been in that stage of life when I was approaching the end of my quote unquote reproductive years, I just didn't expect the symptoms to go to such an extreme. The symptoms that I had already been having, they started to be so bad that I really thought that perhaps I was experiencing the early signs of dementia. I really thought that, and I didn't tell anyone. I just kept it to myself. But the mental anguish that I was going through, I didn't recognize myself at all. I was not able to process stress, and I not in a productive way like I used to before that. So I didn't recognize myself at all. I was so weak physically and emotionally, and that would cause me more stress because I thought, what is happening to me? What will become of me? At that time, I was working on staff at my church. I was leading the women's ministry there, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But at that time, I was feeling so fragile and just I was not unable to follow through mentally or physically with the tasks, the events that I was responsible for. I had to step down from my job, and that made me so sad. But that's the context of how things were. I was really going through such a dark time. And I reached out to women who around my age and who were older than me to try to start getting some perspective and some hope about how this was going to pan out. Now, I'm a Christian. My faith in the Lord Jesus sustains me through everything, through thick and thin. And yet, because I live in a very real, finite, and mortal body, I still have to struggle with all of the implications of that. As you do, we're still very much human. And so, even though my faith did sustain me, God sustained me, I was still suffering greatly. And I did some research between August and October. I was so desperate talking to women, as I say, and then started seeing what help is there. I mean, I thought that I was going to make it to postmenopause, and now I don't know if I'm going to even survive this. And so I was desperate for help. I started looking online and came across MIDI Health, and had a great experience with them. As a matter of fact, I have made a video talking about my experience with them. So I reached out to MIDI Health, took the quiz, and started HRT the very same day that I had my appointment with my nurse practitioner online. So I was using it for about 8 to 11 weeks, and then I developed a rash, primarily on my left side, from the bottom of my neck, from the bottom of my ear, all the way down my neck and onto the front of my chest here. I could feel tingling all over my neck and even my back. And up into the top of my head, I felt this just weird tingling. And I really thought, this is not good. So when I spoke to MIDI Health, my nurse practitioner, she said, why don't you try an antihistamine? Maybe that will help the allergic reaction. And she was kind, and I always felt she was very professional and knowledgeable. But I didn't want to do that. So I just thought, my body's having this allergic response for a reason. I don't want to just kind of mask it with an antihistamine. Now, I'm not a doctor. I do not in any way want you to think that I'm giving any kind of medical advice, or that I have some medical expertise. I don't. I am just a woman navigating this new landscape, and I've learned a lot, but I still have questions. And when I do, I go and find out. And that's why I make these videos, hopefully to put some information out there, in addition to just presenting my 2 cents of my experience walking through menopause, in hopes it will equip you or someone that you know who is in the same season. And so I stopped taking the HRT from MIDI Health, which was the patch and the progesterone pill. Even though I was feeling good otherwise, I just thought, I'm not going to take it anymore. I had also developed a ringing in my ears. Then after a few weeks of not being on HRT at all, sure enough, my symptoms started increasing again. I looked again to see what was out there that wasn't a patch or a pill, because I thought maybe that's what my body was being allergic to. And I came across OESTRA, which is a bioidentical vaginal delivery hormone replacement therapy cream from the company Inner Balance. I tried it and didn't like it the first time. I just felt like it was messy, and I just thought, I don't want to do this. So I wasn't on HRT, continuing still for another few weeks, and was not feeling good. I had the OESTRA, and I thought, let me just give it a wholehearted try, because I was only on it for not even a week. And I thought, I didn't really give it a chance. Let me try again. And so I did. This is where the review for OESTRA from Inner Balance is going to begin. OESTRA is not the least expensive option that is out there. And I also want to say that in no way am I affiliated with Inner Balance or OESTRA whatsoever. I am so very glad that I gave OESTRA a second try. I really am. I started on January 29th of this year, 2026, and today is May 1st. So it has been 3 months of using the OESTRA daily. It is one pump per day, and that delivers the estrogen, the progesterone, and even the testosterone, which it converts into, the progesterone converts naturally into testosterone in our body. And so it is a one and done. And that is one of the things I love the most about this product. So, what are some of these benefits that I am thoroughly enjoying on the OESTRA? Well, I am sleeping great. I should say that I also take a triple magnesium complex every night, and that helps me to just be relaxed and to sleep great. I have to set my alarm so that I will wake up, and sometimes I do feel a little bit like I want to continue to sleep, but it's not a big deal. I would rather have that than not be able to get to sleep any day. The ringing in my ears has improved. It was never, thankfully, was never something extreme, but I notice it mostly when I'm tired in the evening, and I've just gotten used to it. But it has improved, like it's a little less, and I'm glad. I hope that in time it will just go away and I won't have it anymore. Let's see, the arthritis in my left knee, I mean, I hardly ever feel the pain. And so I do want to also say that I do exercise regularly. So I see the benefit from both. I think they work hand in hand, the HRT and also the exercise. So the arthritis in my knee is feeling much better. My aches and pains in my muscles, in my bones, in my joints has greatly improved. Greatly improved. That was part of why I was feeling so fragile before. Now here's something I didn't expect at all. My hair actually feels fuller, like in my scalp. It just looks fuller. It feels fuller. I had, I had always had kind of a lot of hair, but in the last year, I had noticed that my hair was starting to thin, especially here, like around my face. And I thought, well, what are you going to do? I mean, I'm not getting any younger, but this was a nice bonus that I didn't expect. And also just overall, my body isn't so dry. My face still, I need to moisturize it at least 3 times a day. That helps, but I do feel that I'm like more moisturized everywhere. And I have to say that as far as that variable of intimacy, the restoration of the estrogen and the other hormones has been so very helpful in that area. And so it just makes everything more comfortable, and that's also a plus. As women, we do have to also be mindful of these details and the issues that come up with those intimate areas. We could atrophy, our muscles could atrophy, and these are issues that are very painful. We also want to be careful that we're not having urinary tract infections. Sometimes a woman has one and doesn't even know, and in this stage of our life, it can be really serious. The effects of having a UTI. So just keep that in mind if you did not know that. Let's see. Basically, I'm just feeling much better balanced all around. I do feel like I'm being physically restored. And I will just say one other thing, which is kind of funny, but at the same time, I'm like, yes, yes, and thank you. And that is that I'm not getting these really thick chin hairs like I was getting. And they would come out. I felt like it was overnight. And I look and look, and yeah, every once in a while I will get a chin hair, but they're not like as thick as they used to be. And they're not, I don't get them as frequently. In fact, now it's more like few and far between. So that is a plus. I will take it. Let's see. Let's get now to the nitty gritty. OESTRA costs $199 per month for the first 6 months. And then the price goes down to $99 per month. Now, there is good news. There is a referral program, which I am so grateful for, and I benefited from that. For my order of OESTRA, I used a referral link that I found from a woman online, and that saved me $100 off of, either it saved me $100 or $99 off of my first month. And then my next 5 months, then I will be billed $199, and then it'll go to $99. However, the referral program is a win-win. The referral link from Inner Balance to their current and active subscribers is meant to be shared with friends. Now, when a new patient signs up using that referral link, both the referring patient and the new subscriber receive a special reward, which includes $99 off for both parties, making it more accessible. And the person that is sharing their referral link, my understanding is that they can only receive that discount 3 times. And so if you want more information, please go to the Inner Balance website, innerbalance.com, and they will have more information about that referral program. So all in all, I am very glad that I tried OESTRA for the second time, and now I'm sold. This is the company that and the product that I have landed on. I continue to learn about the options that we have in menopause, and I want to share those details with you in future videos. There are other options that are less expensive, and so that is good to know. For me, this is a product I love. It's an investment in my health. I do not spend money on expensive makeup or expensive clothes. I don't travel around the world. I live a pretty simple life. And for me, yes, this product is not the $35 I used to spend, but it is well worth it to me. So I hope that gives you an idea. If you're thinking, oh, I'm going to tell Laura about the less expensive things that are out there, please know I have looked into them, and I have done experiments on my own, and this is where I've landed. I am good with the OESTRA. So just want you to know that you will find, hopefully, what works for you and what is accessible to you. And so I just hope that my 2 cents has been helpful to you in some way. And if you think that this information could help another woman, would you please consider sharing the video? As always, thank you for being here. Thanks for spending this time with me, that we can have this time together and learn from one another. If you have something, a product, information that is truly helping you in the perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause season of your life, I invite you to share them in the comments. You never know who is going to read what you have written and be equipped and be encouraged and helped. I thank you for being here today, and I certainly hope that I will see you in the next video. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.